Hi, and welcome to this lesson on prioritized backlogs. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how you can ensure the one thing gets done in your sprint every time. So in the last lesson, we were talking about how you can ride the variance within your sprint. Here in this lesson, we're going to talk about how you can take even greater advantage of that behavior by prioritizing the work that you get done. So you start with the most important work. The way to do that is through prioritizing your backlog effectively. Now, there are many different ways to prioritize your backlog. Some different approaches would say to prioritize based upon return on investment. It may be based upon cost of delay, but oftentimes these kind of economic metrics are not available, and we need to use instead what we call the Moscow rules, the must, should, could, and won't rules. The reason why we prioritize is because we always want to start with the must-haves. The must-haves are the part of the work increment that must be completed in order for that increment to work and be integrated with the whole. So remember, within Agile, every time box, we have to produce some increment of work that can be either given directly to the customer or be integrated into the greater whole of the system. So it may be that we're building the engine, or it may be that we're fully updating the website, or it may be that we're building the new design. Whatever the case is, it's an increment of work that's done and deliverable. Now, because of the fact that it is a complete increment of work, there are parts of the work that we could do, there's parts of the work that we should do, and there's parts of the work that we must do. The must do or the must-haves have to come first, and they should always be the first stories that you open up whenever you're starting your sprint. Then, the should-haves are those stories which, if you do this work, it's going to make the experience or it's going to make the value much better for your customer. However, if the should-haves do not make it into your sprint or are not completed by the end of the sprint, the work can still be shipped. So these are things like improving the flow within a feature so that users can use it more quickly. Or it might be about making a car faster, or it may be about making a car handle better, but it won't be about making a car more reliable and safe. These should-haves are very important, and we want to get them done, but we may not be able to. Then there's the could-haves. The could-haves are the stories that we've added in case we have time, because they're niceties that we like. These are the creature comforts. They're the kind of thing like, Apple Car Radio, or Android radio on our car. It might be something like an integration with a cool toolet that's out there or a widget that's out there, but it will not be something that's essential to the customer experience. And then finally, there are the won't-haves. The won't-haves are important, even though they won't go into your sprint, that you accumulate them and identify them during the sprint, because won't-haves are basically work that you've explored, that you've said, we will not do this, and we've already taken a look at it. It's very easy when you're doing continuous planning to retread old ground, and you want to avoid that whenever you can. So a won't have is going to offer a means of documenting that we've already discussed that feature or that product element, and we're just not going to add it. Now that you have this prioritized backlog, you start with the must-haves, you execute the shoulds and then the coulds, and you ride that task variance wave, and you'll get to done, and you'll have a great product every time. I hope that this has been useful for you. We look forward to talking about the next lesson, where we're going to get into how you can limit work in progress and ensure delivery with transparency. Looking forward to seeing you there.